Donald Trump is highly gratified with how he did on a cognitive test. That isn't something to brag about, and I'll explain why in just a minute. But first, let's go to the video of him talking about this with Sean Hannity.
He hasn't taken any cognitive tests because he couldn't pass one. I actually took one when I very recently when I was, the radical left was saying, "Is he all there? Is he all there?" And I proved I was all there because I aced it. I aced the test. And he should take the same exact test, a very standard test. I took it at Walter Reed Medical Center in front of doctors, and they were very surprised. They said, that's an unbelievable thing. Rarely does anybody do what you just did.
Okay, so let's talk about what this cognitive test is, and then also discuss how embarrassing it is that he's bragging about doctors marveling at his acumen, when in reality, this is something that if doctors are marveled that you passed it, it means that doctors had a super low expectation for you. So let's go to the details. If you look at the test, according to the Washington Post, it's pretty hard to see how you could not score a 30, right? You see a picture of a lion and you have to identify it as a lion. The old joke about how the elderly and toddlers are subject to the same indignities seems pertinent here. Is this really the bar that needs to be met to demonstrate full mental capacities? Well, according to those who study dementia and other mental deterioration, yes. That was from Philip Bump over at the Washington Post. Now, for more clarity, I want to show you what the actual cognitive test looks like. And then, just ask yourselves, would you brag about passing this? And in order to pass it, you'd need to get a 30, right? So this is what it looks like. And there are several different sections there. The most clear section that you can see right now in this graphic are the animals, right? So what is that about? You literally just have to name what the animals are. Okay, that's literally all you need to do.
No, this is, of all the Trump stories, this is the most embarrassing. He bragged
10%. 10% of the test is this, 10% of it is this, and all you need is a 30 to pass it.
Yes, 3 of the questions are, what is that? Oh, it's a lion, a rhino, and a camel. He bragged about that. He said the doctors were amazed that he got it all right. What doctor would be amazed at that? Guys, the other questions are not any harder. In fact, you saw one of them there, if you one of them is, hey, what is this letter? Oh, it's an A. You see the letter A. What is this number? It is the number 2. You see the number 2. You just have to say it's the number 2. Okay, another question is, where are you? I'm not joking. I'm not joking. The reason they do this cognitive test is to see if you have a concussion or if you have recovered from a stroke or if you have brain damage. Another question is, what day of the week is it? So the hardest question I could see was draw a cube, but they gave you an example of a cube. You could just recreate it. So what kind of a moron sees that test and is like, unlike the SATs, I passed this one. Oh my God, you have to be blindingly stupid. Of course, the doctors didn't say they've never seen anything like that. Everyone who is not mentally damaged to the extreme passes the test. How could the doctors, when every person they saw no longer had a brain? They're like, oh, this is the first one that still has 2 brain cells. Can tell what a lion is, right? So obviously that didn't happen. But look at what his bar is. He's like, the doctors were so amazed and they were very surprised. Yeah, that part I believe, because having dealt with you for longer than 60 seconds, they probably thought, forget whatever health problems he has. I just don't think he's smart enough to know what a camel is, right? So, and then the third part of it, and this is the serious part. The idiot admitted that he went to Walter Reed and took this test here. Remember, in November, he went to Walter Reed in an emergency situation. His shirt was slightly unbuttoned, meaning he might have had a chest problem. Why would you go to Walter Reed in a panic? You might have had a stroke. They take you to Walter Reed where that's why they would do a cognitive test in case you had a stroke. And so at the time they're like, no, it was totally regular. We were just having our normal physical exam at a time when we don't normally have our physical exam. We just decided to have it in an emergency. This reminds me of when he hid in the bunker when the protesters came, and he's like, "Oh no, he's doing an inspection. I mean, I've done it 2.5 times. I like every once in a while, I like to go and do an inspection for no reason, just randomly, right?" No, guys, if you look up to this guy, I'm not trying to make fun of you. I really feel sorry for you. If that's a guy you think is so smart that he's your hero, wow. A giant percentage of this country, like 25, 30, 35%, blindingly stupid.
When you sign up for a spend and save account at aspiration.com/TYT, we will plant 10 trees. Let's save the planet together.